What would he say?
Can I touch your boobies?
No, no, no.
Welcome to Luvbites. Luvbites.
I like my toes being sucked.
Luvbites by Dr. Tara. Hope you're having an orgasmic day.
Did you dress like that just for me?
Oh my God, hot. Hello, my Luvbites fam, and welcome back to Luvbites by Dr. Tara podcast. Today with us is a very sensual daddy, Cera Gibson.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Of course. Are you having an orgasmic day?
Absolutely.
You were driving here from Salt Lake City.
Yeah, I drove all through the night. I'm on like 2 hours of sleep and surprisingly very pumped. So you're getting the best of me.
Pumped and very sexy.
And
dare
very
I say.
orgasmic.
Very
Thank you.
orgasmic. You walked in, I'm like, ooh, you got sexy energy.
Thank you.
You're like, it's just the way I am.
I'm just who I am
You know.
naturally.
Well, tell me about the daddy. Like, why do
daddy
people call
moniker?
you daddy?
It really took on a life of its own. I have this sensual voice that I was using in a comedic sense on TikTok, and people just started calling me daddy because of it. And then I wrote a song called Daddy, and it has stuck. It's as much of my name as Sarah is my name.
Daddy Cera.
Daddy Sarah. Mhm.
Ooh. You wear so many hats. Like, you have lots of jobs.
Mhm.
One of them is an audio erotica creator.
Yes.
That's why you sound so sexy.
Yes.
Say something sexy.
Hey, baby.
No.
Good girl.
And then what else do you do?
So I'm an audio erotica creator. I'm a comedic content creator.
Love.
And then I'm also a musician and a conventional voice actor. Yeah.
Love. With this many jobs, do you get tired?
Yes. Very much so, especially when I'm driving through the night to get places.
Yes. Well, I have something just for you.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I'm excited.
So this is Magic Mind.
Ooh.
And I usually take it in the morning with my coffee or with matcha. It just like enhances the whole process.
Oh, it's dope.
I can stay like focused, feel more clarity, more productive, and have like prolonged energy throughout the day. And I think
Really?
that's the thing for me. It's like if I drink a lot of coffee, then I crash.
Yeah,
But with this, it's prolonged energy.
that's dope. What's in it?
Yes, here. Try it out. Try it out. I have one for me, one for
Ooh.
you. Let me.
I really like the
I'm
branding.
bougie, so I'm pouring mine into a glass.
Wow. Okay, I'm just
Like,
toughing it out
Sorry,
here.
where's your glass? I'm like, team.
All right.
But it is a shot, so cheers.
Cheers. All right.
Yes, prolong energy so I get sexy time tonight as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, for those of you that are listening and watching, if you'd like to get Magic Mind as well, go to magicmind.com/lovebites. That's magicmind.com/lovebites and get up to 56% off your subscription for the next 10 days with my code LUVBITES20, LUVBITES 20. Okay, how are we feeling?
Fabulous. That honestly, I needed this today.
Yeah, and it tastes good.
It really does. And I love the branding because it almost looks like a tarot card. So it fits with like the
Yes.
magic, you know?
Yeah,
It's
they're
cute.
they're in Venice. It's like a whole thing. It's
Oh.
very vibey.
I know what that means for sure.
Well, you're one of the most like vibey people I know, and
Thank
your
you.
voice is so captivating. So
you.
my producer and I thought that it would be fun to start with a game where we use our voice. I don't know how great I would be, but I know you would be
You're gonna kill it.
amazing. So we're gonna play a game here.
Okay.
And it's called Awkward Audio Erotica ASMR.
I'm so excited.
And whoever laughs first loses.
Okay.
Okay? You have to say it in your sexiest ASMR voice.
Oh, I will.
Okay. Oh my God. You start first because you're the pro.
I'm so
And
excited.
also, if you're listening and watching, I want you to also judge us as well. So definitely
Please.
give us feedback in the comment section.
Okay, I have not read this
You're
yet.
gonna be so good.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna lose because I'm the first word. Okay. Rawr, come here, little piggy squishy. Do you want to see my vagina whina?
Nice. Very nice.
No one laughed.
Not funny. Not funny at all. Okay. Oh, fiddlesticks. Your cum sock fell on my hot knocker. It smells like dolphin squirtle.
the cum sock.
Your turn.
That didn't count. That didn't count.
And then that didn't count.
I was laughing at the cum sock, not at not at you. Okay. Rough, like a dungeon dragon. Like a dungeon dragon, like a dungeon dragon.
Okay, that's actually really hot. And I'm slightly turned on. So
That's a compliment.
Okay, last one. Damn girl, that pussy on cap, for real. That bussin', soldier boy, fluffin', MacGuffin, baby, scat. I can't.
I think we both lose, honestly. The ski.
I can't. Who wrote this? Okay, I'm gonna say you won.
Okay. You know what? I'll accept it, but that skiat did get me in the end. And also, I laughed at the first word that I read, so I don't know.
How do you say
that is.
scat in a sexy way?
I think it's ridiculous regardless, but skiat,
Ooh.
maybe.
It's like it's that deep in the throat. Kinda.
Yeah, you got to get a little deep in the throat. You know what's amazing? Being a musician, actually, like a vocalist, made me a better voice actor because I know how to like manipulate my vocal cords.
Oh
but
my
the
gosh.
secret to sexy really is just like slow and deep, and you make it a little bit throaty. So you just kind of throw your voice back.
Oh my gosh. I bet like all the people that are listening and watching are gonna go find your audio erotica and then jerk off to it.
I hope they do.
You're like,
That's
yes,
why it exists.
that's my service.
Yeah, that's my
for the
service.
world. World peace.
World peace.
Okay, before we get into our audience questions, I have a question for you.
Okay,
Do you go to like sex parties or
good question.
yeah?
If my parents are watching, this is when to stop watching. I haven't gone to like a sex party per se, but I've definitely like been to parties that turned into an orgy.
Oh, interesting.
A couple times, yeah.
Yeah, where people just like are feeling themselves and each
Yeah.
other and
Kind of
want to have
free
sexy time.
flowing. Exactly.
Okay, interesting. Are
Yeah.
you single?
No, I'm actually polyamorous.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I've been in a partnership for 3 years with my primary partner. We live together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is what kind of poly is it? Because like in class when I teach like sexual communication in college, there's so many types
Oh
of
yeah.
polyamory.
There's so much. We don't do like the throuple triad thing. I feel like a lot of couples do that.
I feel like that's a common like one.
Yeah, well, especially when you're opening up your relationship, I think people try to like mitigate the feeling of a loss of control by wanting to date the person your partner is also dating. But unfortunately, it's really hard to find someone who is into both of you equally and you're into them equally.
Yeah.
And there's no weird power imbalance. So me and my partner date parallel. And that doesn't mean that our partners may never meet each other, but we primarily date separately.
I see.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
How do you feel about safe sex?
I feel great about it. Very strongly positive about it.
Yes, I've been talking about normalizing, just talking about getting tested and talking about the results and not like using certain terms that are more inclusive, like safer sex, and not using the word like dirty or clean. Like as a part of normalizing talking about getting tested, we should also think about like are certain words like hurting people or not hurting people. So
Yeah.
I have a gift for you.
Really?
This is BasisDX at home STI STD testing kit.
That's actually an amazing gift.
You're
not gonna
welcome.
lie.
You're welcome.
Oh, how cool.
Isn't that really cool? And it's in the
is.
privacy of your own home. You get the kit at home and you get tested at home. You ship it in, you ship the box in. You get the results in 48 hours to your phone.
What?
And you can literally just like airdrop that to everyone. Just, hey, listen, you know, like I want to have sexy time with you. Here's an airdrop
just
of
like
my
on
results.
the subway.
Yeah. On the subway, I just airdrop my results to everybody who's interested.
Just so everybody knows.
Yeah. But I love them, and I think it's one of the best things we can do to promote like getting tested more often is making it easy and accessible. And I
Yeah.
think like having it at home for busy professionals like so good.
No, that's incredible because I have found it to be frustrating to like book a doctor's appointment for this. Not only, weirdly, a lot of doctors won't do a full panel blood test unless you're showing symptoms. So this is actually amazing because then you can just like take that power into your own hands and you don't have to leave the house.
Yes.
So thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, talking about power in our own hands, we have questions here in my hands to answer from my followers. And My loves, if you'd like to ask me and my guests questions about sex, dating, relationships, please go to lovebites.co and click ask and ask away. You can also DM on TikTok, Instagram. I think my producer loves seeing all the questions, and we choose them here and we answer them here. So me as a sex educator and Cera as a sex positive educator as well,
Yeah.
we're gonna answer some questions.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Mr. Cobra asks, I need tips to understand when a woman is into me. I fail to understand when a woman wants my attention or not.
Okay, this makes me immediately curious if they are confused whether women are into them at all. Because what might be happening a lot of times when people are not sure if someone's into them, it's because that person is not into them. Because I find when someone is, like, they get a little bit closer to you, they touch you. Someone might just be being friendly, but if they're like touching you and getting closer and like making an effort to see you more frequently and like promptly texting you back, initiating texting you, that's a pretty clear sign that at the very least they enjoy your company
Yes.
and want to be in contact. If none of that is happening, safe to assume that the vibe is not there.
Exactly. And I
Yeah.
think it's so hard nowadays when people are on dating apps and getting ghosted like every single day.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's hard to tell. However, like you said, people make effort for people that they're into.
They do.
Like it's pretty clear. Unless this is like an immature person who's playing games in which you don't want to date them anyways.
No.
No time for more like of these like games and like pickup strategies and
Ew.
tactics. I'm like, I'm not into tactics. I'm into like authentic connection. If I'm into you, I'm gonna
Absolutely.
tell you. If
Exactly.
you're into me, you tell me. You're not, that's fine. We're cool. Move
Mhm.
forward with life. And what you said is really, really important is when you are in person, there's a set of behaviors called
Yes.
immediacy behaviors. And it's what Cera just said. It's they move a little closer to you. They do like a little shoulder tap or a hand tap. They try to touch you. They make deep eye contact with you. They smile more at you. And a lot of these things indicate that someone is interested in you,
Yes.
a lot of times romantically.
hmm
So these are called immediacy behaviors.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Isn't that fun?
Immediacy.
Yeah, we teach it in nonverbal communication.
That's really cool.
They're like, here are the signs that they're into you.
Yeah.
Look,
That's a lot
college
more
is
helpful.
worthy.
Yeah. College is working.
And then another thing I would say that what you said is really on point is effort and like texting
Yeah.
in the appropriate time.
Yeah.
Everyone's busy, okay? So let's not use that excuse. Like, oh,
Mhm.
sorry, I was busy for like 3 days.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Unless
you
ahead
were
of
on
time.
Instagram.
Yeah, you were on Instagram. Unless ahead of time. So it's actually interesting that you bring this up because with the nature of how I work, social media is my job.
Yeah.
So I'm always going to be active on social media, but sometimes I don't quite have the bandwidth to respond over text. What someone who is into you and respects you will do is say, hey, for the next 3 days, I might be poor at responding. But if they don't do that and they kind of leave it up in the air and are always throwing out the I'm busy, I've got this going on, and
They're not into you.
they're not into you, unfortunately. Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're not. Talking about that, I think we should normalize telling people when we can't do something,
Yes.
you know, rather than just not do it and like disappear.
Mm-hmm.
You can't meet up for, let's say, 2 weeks because you're doing meal prep. Say it. You
That's a hell of a meal prep.
yeah.
for
Or
2 weeks.
you can't like, or you know, you don't want to go to parties. You're trying to be sober. Say
Yeah.
it. Like you don't want to go on, I don't know, a hike with them because you're allergic to dogs. Say it.
Yeah.
Like whatever it is, it's if it's not because you don't like them, just communicate that part.
Mhm.
Because I'm sure if the person is into you, other things will work out. Like you can work something else out.
Yes.
I like when you say like, you know, you will tell someone you're dating like, hey, listen, like the next 3 days will be a little rough, but it's not because I'm not paying attention. Like I want to
Mhm.
talk to you. I'm into you still. Like we're gonna talk after the 3 days. Because
Yes.
if I'm going on like a retreat,
Yeah.
which I do sometimes, and if I disappear for 2 or 3 days, like I tell people like, hey, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be texting you.
Well, that's important, especially if you normally respond really quickly and then you disappear for 3 days. That's concerning just as
That's
a
true. They
whole.
might just like call the cops. And
Yeah.
Tara always
she's
texts me back
missing.
in 30 minutes, and it's been 3 days.
Yeah. Fell off the face of the planet somewhere.
Have you ever like try to not text someone in order to get their attention?
Oh, I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, mostly in high school. Yeah.
Yeah, when we were young, right?
Yeah, when I was young, or like early 20s, because we're kind of told that you have to be aloof in order to interest somebody. But no, like if you can't just act how you feel with a person and be like, I'm into you, I want to hold your hand, I want to see you, then that person isn't for you in the first place. Like if showing interest is scaring that person away, that connection is not there.
100%. I
Yeah.
support this message and endorse it because it's so, to me, it's like one of the stupidest things ever that I've done
Yeah.
as well is like playing and just like, oh, I'm just gonna let him wait 3 days. Like,
Yeah.
before I
Or
text him
like,
back. Or even though I was so into this person.
yeah.
Why?
Well, I mean, I think we're always afraid to look like the person that's more into someone because
Right.
it sets
Fear
us
of
up for
rejection.
rejection. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. God, it's an epidemic, isn't it? Fear of rejection.
Oh,
It
it's
stops people
huge.
from doing a lot of things, and not just in romantic and sexual realm.
Mhm.
Also like pursuing your passion and
Yes.
everything else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
completely agree.
How do you overcome fear of rejection for yourself? Like, how do you do?
Oh, that's like really interesting because I feel in some areas of my life, I have no fear of rejection. I really have no fear of how people perceive me. So I'd say in terms of like making music or content creation, that doesn't really even cross my mind.
You're like, I'm
But
gonna put this out. I don't know how many people are gonna like it or dislike it. It's fine.
yeah,
Because I like
it's
it.
fine. Well, exactly. And also, I don't view these things as like my magnum opus. Like
Right.
I've
Like,
put out
I exist for
hundreds.
this.
I exist for this one thing I put out. I've put out hundreds of videos.
Yeah.
You know, people are going to remember some, they're going to forget others. It's not as impactful to other people as it is in your mind.
Yeah.
People forget things so quickly because everything's incredibly saturated. I think with personal relationships, that's where I actually do struggle a little bit with the fear of rejection. And I'm like a disorganized attachment style when I'm not feeling secure. So I can be like a little bit anxiously attached and then I'll be avoidant because the anxiety comes from, okay, this person is pushing away. Let me grab onto that. And then when I feel like I'm scaring them away, then I just might have the tendency to take a full step back. And so I've had to really work on it's okay to feel that initial reaction, but acting on it is where you start to get into toxic cycles of behavior. So I just have to acknowledge that I feel that way. Yes, I'm afraid this person's going to reject me, but still act authentically to myself. And if they reject me, understand that oftentimes it's more than just, oh, they think I'm gross and terrible and they don't like me. You know, it could be a dynamic thing. It could have something to do with they don't like the career that you have, or they're busy, or like your social lives don't line up. There's so many reasons why someone might reject you. And it's not like a commentary on your character, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's not an ish me and it's an ish you.
Yeah. I love that. I've never heard that.
And people are so freaking different.
Yeah.
And there's so many variables within someone's life to think like just because it doesn't work out between you and this one person is all because of you is actually a little narcissistic.
It really is. And
Isn't it? Like,
yeah.
I used to think that way. I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
same.
it didn't work out with this person. Oh my God. It's like, it's all because like of me and I was doing this. I'm like, no, they have their own issues.
Exactly. I think that's just human nature to have a very myopic view. Like you're
Yeah.
experiencing
Like, oh, it's
your life
me.
as you.
Yeah.
So it would make sense to attribute events to something to do with you.
Yeah.
But overall, it's exactly what you said. It probably has very little to do with you. Yeah.
Except for coming, if you're not orgasming. Partially, part of that is you.
A pretty large part of that, yeah.
Pretty large part of that is you, which we'll talk about later. I think we answered that question really well. Number 2, Bianca asks, how do you increase stamina? My boyfriend finishes once, then he's done. Oh, it's a pump and dump, one and done. It turns me off and I don't want to masturbate after. Okay.
I'm not laughing at your problem.
No, I am not either. You're laughing at the way I said it.
Yes.
My first thought immediately is, does he exercise? Because there's a
Oh.
huge correlation between sexual stamina and people who exercise.
Really?
Yeah, like cardio.
So they can last longer or they can go multiple times?
Both.
Oh.
Yeah. So exercise contributes largely to blood flow, and
Mhm.
for men, like and women.
Yeah.
You know, because like when we're aroused, our clit is engorged, and that's because blood goes there.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. But yeah, to increase sexual stamina, you have to exercise regularly. Like that's the number one rule is you have to exercise regularly.
That really does make sense because a few years ago, my friend started working out with me, and she said just a few weeks into working out with me, her libido like skyrocketed, and it had been
Ooh.
just in the dirt for a while, and I'm like, that's amazing.
Wow. So she's like on the treadmill and fucking at night.
Yeah.
Love that.
From the treadmill to fucking, and then at the same time.
fucking on the treadmill?
That would
Don't
be
do this at home.
hazardous.
Ooh, that might be my new thing.
I kind of want to see that, to be honest. I don't know if I want to try it, but I want to see someone do it.
I almost want to guess that there is a porn video of that because there is a video of everything.
It'd be just about, yeah.
Everything. It's scary sometimes. Like
That's why I really don't go like hunting. I'm like the first
No.
page. That's probably good enough for me.
yeah, like amateur.
Yeah.
Like yeah. I was gonna say another thing about coming and like not wanting to put in the effort to have sex, like have another round. I think it's also psychological. Because
Yes.
we've been talking about like how it's physical and exercise can contribute to a better stamina. But I think sometimes when guys come and they're like, oh, I'm done, I'm gonna go to bed, it's also like mental and psychological.
Well, yeah, it's this idea. So there's this idea of like heterosexual sex being like male centric.
Yeah.
So it centers around like the man's pleasure
Yeah.
and the man's experience. So when he comes, it's done. And I think so many guys have it in their head that when I come, the act is done. And so the second that they ejaculate, they're just checked out entirely.
Yeah.
So it'd be shifting the focus to like coming not being necessarily the objective
Right.
or the end point, but like making sure that both people are having a mutually
pleasurable time.
Exactly.
Yes. And talking about pleasurable time, like I was talking to some of my friends about different types of pleasure that we feel in our bodies or like non-genital orgasms. What type of orgasms or extra pleasure do you feel on all over your body that's non-genital?
Like what areas do I
Yeah.
like to be stimulated?
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then you can almost like orgasm from it.
This is gonna get the feet boys at me, but I like my toes being sucked. Honestly,
Oh, you're gonna get
sometimes
so
I'm
many
too
DMs.
ticklish. No, I already know. I already know. But sometimes I'm too ticklish. But when I'm not, that's awesome. It heightens
So
the
you
experience
get
so
your
much.
your toe sucked.
While
And while what?
while like penetration or something is happening, and it
Oh,
just
this
heightens
involves
the
multiple
experience.
people.
Well, no. Just
Wait,
that
how do you?
my foot is up in their
Okay.
mouth.
No free feet. She's wearing
No
shoes.
free
No,
feet, I'm
no, she's
wearing
wearing
shoes.
shoes.
But my foot is up in their mouth while I'm on my back, and
My foot
thrusting is
is in-
happening. So it just requires flexibility. But
Wow.
yeah,
You are flexible.
no. It requires
But you made it
flexibility.
work.
It works for a short amount of time until my hamstring is like, please stop.
Yeah, you're like
Yeah.
toes. Quit the
Yeah.
toes. I need to try that.
Yeah, you really should.
I dated someone with a foot fetish before, but
Really?
it was more like him centric. So he would like use my feet to like
To jack
masturbate.
off, yeah.
Yeah. Is that common?
It
You
is.
said that so like normally. You're like,
Well, I've definitely had that done. I don't know, feet are such like an interesting untapped erogenous zone. I think for a lot of men that are super into feet and like jerking off with feet and stuff, it's because it's incredibly taboo.
yeah,
But if you start getting into like your feet being stimulated,
yeah.
it's such a sensitive part of your body
Oh my
that like
gosh.
that coupled with other types of stimulation, once you get over the fact that it's your feet, it's really pleasurable.
I'm doing it tonight.
Do it.
Yes. I'm gonna be
Yes.
like, come on, Brent, suck my toes. What do we do if our partners are not into sucking our toes?
Oh, that's
Oh,
tricky.
can I use like pocket pussy on my toes?
You probably could.
Can I like
a
like-
suction pump or something?
yeah.
I have never thought of that. There's got to be like a foot sucking device out there somewhere, or something you could use as a foot sucking device.
Do you want to do Cera X Dr. Tara foot sucking device?
Yes. Okay, branded. We've got it.
Yes. Oh my god, we're gonna make so much money.
We are. That's what
at
everyone's
that.
been needing.
Capitalist girlies.
Yeah, capitalism.
Oh, we can just give them for free because
We could egalitarian
Yes.
foot sucker.
yeah. Pleasure for all.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Talking about, yes, non-genital orgasms. I have had nipple orgasm.
So you've come from your nipples
Yeah.
being sucked? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yes. Come like my body like tenses
Yeah.
up, and then my pussy also tenses up.
Yeah.
Yeah. From nipples. But it takes like a long time.
I would imagine. Mine are so sensitive. I'm like
Oh.
upset about it because I want to
Sensitive
live
in a
that
way that's
life.
distracting.
Yeah.
I
Like once
see.
in a while, if I'm super like mind-blowingly, ravenously horny, then it
Once
it
in a
works
while,
for
like
me.
once a week.
Once a week, then it works for me. But if I'm like regular horny, it's just so overstimulating.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of women are like that.
Yeah.
You are the third person I talked to this week about nipple
Really?
orgasm that said like, oh, I don't really like that.
Damn.
Yeah.
You're lucky though. That's amazing.
I enjoy it. I also think that it's because I've been practicing now like many years of sexual mindfulness, like
Mhm.
meditation,
Oh,
sexual meditation.
tell me about that.
Yeah. So I came across it through reading about Tantra
Mm-hmm.
and um for the lack of the better word, tantric sex. I
Mhm.
know that like real Tantra educators think tantric sex is super like Western and it's there to like make money. But
Yeah.
anyways, that's a different story. I was reading a lot about that, and I was at the same time reading Western academic studies on sexual mindfulness based therapy.
Oh,
So there's
wow.
two worlds, Western world, Eastern world. Eastern world, like Tantra, tantric sex practices, and there's like meditation, breath work,
Mm-hmm.
energetic coming together, like all of those things. But then on the West side here, like on the,
The
you know,
West
like
side.
Europe, America, they also study this concept called sexual mindfulness and mindfulness-based therapy for
Mm.
people that have sexual dysfunctions. And it involves meditation.
That's so cool because
Yeah.
I do that in my audio erotica. Yeah, I have
Oh,
like
do
a
you,
whole
take a deep breath.
yeah, the whole thing. I have one that's
Stroke
really
your
intense
little
breath
cock.
work. Stroke your little cock.
Sorry,
Just trigger
moderate
the
cock.
fuck out of people. No, it's actually those ones I don't try to sound sexy. It's more
Okay.
about connecting the person to their body.
Mhm.
And I got the idea because one of my friends does like this meditative masturbation therapy thing where she like talks like a sex therapist is on the phone with her and talks her through her own like meditative masturbation session. And so I started making audio erotica like that, where it's like reconnecting with your body after a breakup or just in general. And like,
Oh, after a breakup.
yeah,
I love that. That's so niche.
it's
Like,
niche,
here's a
but
meditation for right after you got broken up with.
well, I feel like
but
after
people
a breakup,
need it because it's so,
yeah.
you're in distraught.
Yeah. And you feel disconnected from yourself in a sense. Like I feel like your relationship with sex and your body is kind of warped after a breakup.
Yeah.
And so I get really niche with it sometimes, but that was
But
cool
I
to hear
like
you
that.
bring up. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there should be offerings for everything.
Yeah.
Like, here's
something for everybody.
Something for everybody. Yeah. I have guided sexual meditation by Dr. Tara on YouTube if you'd like to try. I have a solo one for yourself and a couples one for couples
That's
to
so
try.
cool.
Yeah, I really like them. Anyways, this is going to come full circle. So I started talking about, started studying this like sexual mindfulness therapy as well as Tantra, and then realized it's like very similar.
Yeah.
Like it's almost the same thing. And then I realized like, oh wow, so there are lots of people in these realms talking about it, but they're not like merging them particularly. So I've been doing sexual meditation for a long
That's so
time,
cool.
and it's been contributing to my own like orgasms and pleasure and the ability to feel more in my body
That's
and
amazing.
take deep breaths, and even like contributing to me being able to squirt. Because
Really?
like I wasn't able to squirt before I started doing sexual mindfulness practices.
That got you to be able to squirt. I've never
Yeah.
been able to squirt ever.
It's so good. It's one of my favorite things ever.
You just got to prep the room, the space
Yep.
for it.
Yeah. Sometimes I
Wow.
don't. Sometimes I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna do it and then like wash the sheets. Like
Nice.
just worry about this later.
I like that.
Yeah.
Just
that's-
in the moment.
That's more my jam. Anyways, it will come full circle. If you're struggling with stamina, I wholeheartedly believe if you start doing sexual meditation, it will contribute to have better stamina
Wow.
mentally. Because
That's
like there's
cool.
exercise that you should be doing,
Yeah.
but then there's also sexual meditation that help you like have a prolonged sexual encounter.
Really cool.
Yeah.
That's so, I'd kind of heard about that of like using breath work and edging for men to like last
Yeah.
longer.
Do
But
you
that's
edge?
awesome. Sometimes,
You're
yeah.
like, yeah, but I like also love coming.
I also do really love coming, yeah. But sometimes, I mean, you have a way more intense orgasm when you edge.
True.
So if I like have the time and the energy,
Have you ever lost it?
yeah.
Same.
It's
Sometimes I'll edge and it's like, it's gone. It's gone. And then I have to
yeah.
go back to work.
You're like, damn it.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't have another 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's always a little frustrating, but it also, I feel like edging is also just like a fun practice for, yeah, just like connection with self. So even if you don't come, it's like, I had that time with myself.
Same. I try to think about it like that too,
Yeah.
and not like be frustrated, because it's
Yeah.
not helping anybody to be frustrated about that. And also, lots of people now, say that edging help you last longer. So goes
Super
back
cool.
to that question. Edging is good for you too.
Yeah, have him edge and work out.
Yeah. Okay, last question. Marcus asks, does size really matter?
Ooh, this is catered to me, isn't it?
Yeah. You have the size video
I
that went
do.
viral.
Mhm.
Tell us more.
I think size matters to a certain extent, right? Like there's going to be a threshold in which something's incredibly painful or which something isn't entirely effective. However, most guys, and fact check me if this isn't correct, fall between like 5 and 6 inches. Like the majority of
Yeah.
penises fall between 5 and 6 inches.
Yeah.
So men, I think, have like their penis built up in their head is like, the guy next to me probably has a way bigger dick than me.
Yeah.
When in all actuality, you're probably around the same size. I think what's most important for a lot of people is less like the size and more your involvement in the sexual act itself.
Yes.
Like we focus way too much on penetration as being like the sex and the epitome of sex. So most people, your dick is just fine. Like I almost guarantee your dick is just fine. But for those that maybe are like pretty well endowed to where it might hurt their partner, or you're on the smaller side, there are so many other things that you can do to like really please your partner. We just get way too wrapped up in the penis.
Oh, 100%. Too much wrapped around the penis.
Too much wrapped around
Yeah.
the penis.
Every time I look back of like the best sexual sessions, I don't think about the penis at all.
it has
I
almost
think
nothing to
about
do with
when
it.
they were really into me.
Yes.
And I'm really into them, and we're just like, and
You're
like,
just going.
yeah. And
Animalistic.
the hottest thing is when they're really into me and they're just like licking and sucking my entire body.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like, think about that. That doesn't involve a penis at all.
No.
And that was like one of the best like sex memories.
Yes.
Right? So I think safe to say it's not just about the penis.
Yeah, penis is great.
Yeah.
But it is so much more. It can be
So much
fabulous
more.
without, as someone who has sex with women, no penis involved, it's great.
It's great. Okay, what would you say is a small dick, quote unquote, small dick?
I'd say probably anything under 4 inches would be small, but it doesn't mean you can't find a useful way to use it.
Yeah. And it's 2 inches is when you have a like clinical micro penis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you're potentially qualified for an insurance paid penis surgery.
That's actually really cool that that's covered by insurance. They're like, we got to give these guys a
Imagine.
solid.
Not fertility, but penis enlargement.
Fertility isn't covered?
No, and most of them, and I have like amazing insurance.
Okay, I
and-
take back what I said.
But yeah, like if you have like micro
Yeah.
penis, some insurance cover your penis surgery.
Well,
Yeah.
for those out there, that's actually really good for people to know, I think.
Yeah.
But also, some of those enlargement procedures are kind of scary.
Very scary.
There's one where they like inject silicone beads into the penis. That one freaks me out.
Same.
Yeah.
Okay, so to end with like a mantra, can you do in your soft, encouraging voice of your penis is fine 3 times?
Okay. Your penis is fine. Your penis is perfect. Your penis is great just the way that it is.
Yes. Namaste. That's gonna help so many people.
I hope so.
It's Okay, last segment of my show is called Quickies with Dr. Tara.
Perfect.
Do you like quickies?
Mm-hmm.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, I love asking people this because there is a vast difference in like how long a quickie is for a person.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting because I have asked people, okay, I'm going to ask you first before I share what other people have said. So how, like on average, how long is a quickie?
I'm pretty freaking short, I would say. Like
Okay.
5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, what do people say?
Sometimes I ask people and they say 2 minutes. Sometimes I ask people and they say 30 minutes.
That is not a quickie.
It's not a quickie.
That's longer than average, like an
Straight
average
penetration.
sex. Yeah.
Average, I think sex is like 17 minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
So-
Wow.
So
I want to
I'm
know
like,
what they're not quickie is.
it's probably Sting. You know how he's like, I have sex with my wife for 7 hours straight. 7
Holy
hours?
hell.
7
That's
hours.
why he's Sting, though. You
He's
know?
Sting. Oh, shit. If I have sex for 7 hours, my pussy will be like, girl, I need a vacation. Like,
I don't
need-
think I have the physical capacity for that, honestly.
No, my pussy needs a retreat for a year.
A retreat.
Yeah,
yes.
like a retreat where I just get
Even
like
further.
a steam and sauna and like massages and
That actually sounds kind of nice.
yes, all of that for a year. Like I'm like I don't know, but then I think he was, I don't know, maybe he was joking, but I don't know. It was on like the New York Post.
For 7 hours.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
right.
New
Crazy.
respect for Sting.
Okay, 5 quickies with Dr. Tara.
Okay.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, what gives you the ick in sex and dating?
Baby talk.
Ooh.
I don't like it at all.
Oh, I know it's a quickie, but tell me more because I'm so interested.
Just anything
Like,
that
"Oh,
reminds
Sarah,
me
oh,
of
you're so cute." Like
anything that reminds me of like my mom talking to me or someone talking to a pet. My vagina closes and locks the doors. I can't do it.
Not sexy?
I had an ex that would do it, and I literally couldn't look him in the eye when that was happening.
what would he say?
It'd be like, "Can I touch your boobies?"
No, no.
I'm never gonna recover from that fully. Like I have a full body reaction to it, and when it's like someone that you care about, I just want. But of course, you don't want to be mean to them.
Can I touch your boobies?
No,
Can
no.
I play with your cleat?
No.
You're like,
It's
fuck.
so
My
horrible.
pussy is locked.
Yeah. that pretty little asshole. I'm like, get out of my house.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I have a new answer now. Can I plagiarize?
Yes, please.
Okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
I have that has never happened to me,
Good.
but I will never want it to happen to me.
No, it's awful.
It is the most like one of the most off-putting things during sex.
Yeah, and I
But
think
I also don't want to shame people who like it. Because if
I-
you like it, you're fine.
you know what? Yes, but if you don't like
you
it
don't
and
like
someone
it,
is
it's
doing,
hard.
and if you're like me and you have a hard time controlling your face, and you're like in the middle of sex and they do that, and you just throw in like a, I don't know how that didn't throw off the mood for him when I was just like physically would recoil from that.
Viscerally.
But yeah.
Number 2, an orgy with your fans after the show.
No.
Number 3, guys who start hating their girlfriends. What does that mean?
There was a Twitter thread where some guy said like that moment when you slowly start hating your girlfriend is crazy, and then all of the replies underneath were absolutely fucking insane. Like guys saying,
I fucking hate my girlfriend too.
well, yeah, but saying like when you have to spit on her back because you can't come because you're not attracted to her anymore. Just the most vile shit. I'm like, break up with her. What is wrong with you?
OMG.
Why are you saying this on Twitter?
I have never seen this before.
Oh, it's horrible. I actually did a dramatic reading of it on TikTok because it's just so insane, some of the things that they say.
Oh my god, that first one that you said, that's so mean.
Oh, it's so mean. It's like one of the worst ones.
What else are they saying?
Oh my, I don't even remember all of it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I can't
I'm
think of it off the top of my
horrified.
head, but no, they're so bad. I'm like, why do you have a girlfriend? Also, why is it like a colloquial thing to slowly start hating your girlfriend?
Do you think women do it too?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think it's human nature where like if you start falling out of love with someone in a relationship, everything starts bugging you about them,
Yeah.
and some people don't break up soon enough. I think for me, it was like the general disrespectful language of this specific
Yeah.
Twitter thread where I was like, none of this needed to be said.
Man.
Or say it to your friends in private or something.
Twitter is a fucking crazy world.
Oh, it's
Like,
an unreal. Well,
there
X now
are,
or whatever.
Like there are super interesting things, but there's also the most hideous things.
Everything you can think of.
Everything. Number 4. Where would you put a 12-inch penis?
I think the only place it could possibly fit is in the back door.
I cannot have a 12-inch anything in my back door.
I mean, like with enough time, maybe. I'm just thinking like the
Time and
physical
effort.
capacity to intake that. The back door is
Yeah.
probably the only place that's even remotely
My feet.
possible. Your feet.
Yes.
There you
Yes, I
go.
can do this with my
You
feet.
can do that with the feet.
Okay, lastly, who am I? Like a professor.
Lastly,
like
or a
this is a
doctor.
paper. Lastly, ooh, ready?
Yeah.
Talk dirty to me.
Okay.
Right.
Let me imagine. I don't understand. I do this for a living and it is so hard to do in like a regular setting. Okay, let's think. Did you dress like that just for me? You look amazing. I'd like it if you looked amazing a little closer to me.
Oh my God, hot. Oh my God, do you have like a dirty talk class?
You know,
'Cause you
that's a
should.
great idea, but no. Maybe I'll make that a series of videos or something.
Oh yes, you sell the shit out of that.
Okay.
That was so good with
Thank
no
you.
prep.
you.
Impromptu dirty talk.
It was a little nerve-wracking.
And like without swearing or saying anything
I think you
quote unquote
can
dirty.
Yeah, you can dirty talk without that. I mean, I've started saying some really crazy shit in my audios where I'll be like, I'll call people depraved, and people really love that. Like
Oh,
if they're kind
yeah.
of into degradation,
Yeah.
calling people depraved, but you can get really creative with it, honestly.
Degradation can be like really hot when you're mentally into it.
Yeah, when you're
Yeah.
mentally into it, and it's not like blatantly disrespectful.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It has to go like
Like playful almost.
yeah. Awesome. Where can everybody find you?
I'm on all the things under Cera Gibson. You can find me on Quinn. You can find me on Spotify, on TikTok, on Instagram. Yeah.
Love it. Thank you for hanging out with me.
Thank you for having me. This was awesome.
Yeah.
And
Well,
thank you for this.
of course. Go get tested.
I will.
Yes, at home and get your results in 48 hours.
Amazing.
There you go. And my Love Bites fam, thank you so much for watching and listening to the end of the episode. I love you all. If you like this, please share, like, subscribe, do all the things. Makes me so happy, makes my pussy happy. And other than that, have an orgasmic day. Bye.
Thanks for listening. This was Love Bites. By Dr. Tara. Follow Dr. Tara on social media at lovebites.co. Have an orgasmic day.